During this online module, we'll be going over fire safety training. Why is fire safety important? The topic is important for a number of reasons. First, it is important for safety, for our residents, staff, and all other inhabitants in our halls. Next, it reduces risk. There are many hazards among our residence hall. Our goal is to limit the potential to start fires. Also, fire safety is important for prevention. If done properly, it prevents any cause of danger. It is important for protection. It protects all property and lives within the residence hall. Lastly, it is important because it is a shared responsibility. One incident can affect the entire building and everyone inside. We'll be going over important policies, but first, here's a picture of a model room with multiple hazardous fire safety issues. Please take a few seconds and try to count all of the issues that this room has. Did you find all of the fire safety issues? The first one is a double whammy. The bag that covers the smoke detector breaks two of the policies. Covering or tampering with the smoke detector is prohibited. It is also a misdemeanor to tamper or interfere with fire and emergency equipment. This includes smoke and heat detectors, fire alarm pull stations, fire extinguishers, fire sprinklers, and exit signs and lights. The next one was the candles on the desk. Burning candles, potpourri, incense, sternos, or any other open flame is prohibited in the residence halls and apartments. Lastly was the cooking equipment. Cooking devices such as toaster ovens, toasters, crock pots, coffee pots, hot plates, and indoor and outdoor grills are not permitted in the halls or on balconies. Use of cooking appliances in rooms is limited to basic microwave oven use. Cooking is only permitted in designated areas, and residents are responsible for maintaining a clean and safe cooking area. Note, this is different for apartment-style halls. Next, we will talk about fire safety policies. Fire alarm evacuations. Evacuations of all persons in university buildings is mandatory when a fire alarm sounds. Failure to do so will result in disciplinary actions. Smoking. It is prohibited to smoke inside residence halls, dining facilities, or public areas, including cigarettes, hookahs, and also electronic smoking devices, including e-cigarettes. The University of Louisville is a smoke-free campus. Smoking is not prohibited throughout the university. Smoking tobacco in a residence hall or in a non-designated area adjacent to a resident hall is prohibited. When enforcing this policy, we would like for you to be educationally focused. Your role as an RA is to help educate the resident by informing them that the campus has a smoke-free policy. We expect you as an RA to role model these expectations. If there are recurring issues, please speak to your supervisor when necessary. In the event of a fire alarm, there is important information you will need to know as an RA. First, you must evacuate. It is a requirement that everyone is evacuated from the building anytime an alarm goes off. Next, you will need to know the important locations. You will need to be familiar with your areas. More in-hall training will be provided. It is important to know the evacuation area and plan for your hall, as well as important equipment location. Again, all of this will be revisited during in-hall training. Lastly, you will need to know who to contact. If on campus, you should call University of Louisville Police Department at 502-852-6111. Also, you will need to call Pro Staff or Tier 1 member on call. When a fire alarm sounds, what do you do? First, take care of yourself. If you are in danger or feel unsafe, simply evacuate the building in the safest way possible. If you see a fire and the alarm is not already going off, use the pull station along the way as you exit out of the building. As with all responsibilities, make sure you're doing this if it is determined that you are safe. It is not necessary to go out of your way. Next, head to the evacuation point. You may guide residents with you, but only if you can. Finally, call ULPD and then Pro Staff or Tier 1 on call. In the event of a fire, you will need to know the important equipment in the halls. This includes fire extinguishers and other equipment to put out fires, pull stations, which set off the alarm, and fire panels or read stations, if applicable. Not all buildings are equipped with fire panels. Again, this will be revisited in in-hall training. With all of this information, what should I do as an RA? First, communicate. Educate the residents about fire safety policies. Next, know important locations and equipment. Further trainings will be revisited in person and in your residence hall. Lastly, help prevent fires and be proactive.